So much happening around the country, and Maps joins us now with all the headlines for this morning. Good morning, Maps. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks to yourself, Kojo.
Excellent. Not bad at all.
Slept well?
Say that again?
Did you sleep well?
Well, yeah, I tried. You look very rested, so I won't ask.
All right, thank you. Now to our news. Property at the Glorious Word Power Ministry at Dansoman here in Accra has been vandalized in what is believed to be a direct response to predictions by its leader and founder, Reverend Owusu Bempah, about the Chief Imam. Now, Reverend Bempah had claimed during a New Year service that the Chief Imam and other prominent personalities may die this year.
Now, that also, I saw Ghanaians wearing a funeral cloth. But I saw that it was an Islamic funeral. But it was a national thing. But I heard the voices of people crying, Allahu Akbar. Oh, yo! That person is also very prominent. And people, Ghanaians, listen to him when he speaks. And he is the vice or the deputy to a president. Ghanaians need to pray. That one is also not confirmed. So we can stop it with prayer.
The predictions by the Glorious Word Power Ministry founder is said to have riled members of the Muslim community, with some threatening to attack him. In a voice clip circulated on social media, an unidentified voice vowed to assault the preacher. Incidentally, the church was attacked on Wednesday, and a video of the perpetrated incident has been making the rounds. JoyNews' Nancy Emma-Fadradosi was at the church premises and sent in this report.
We are currently at the Glorious Word Power Ministries International, where we understand that earlier a group of angry youth decided to come and vandalize property. But here at the premise, what you see first when you get here, this particular billboard has been brought down by disagreement. What directs church members or individuals are coming to the church. We understand that the youth decided to bring this entire billboard down that has a picture of Reverend Owusu Bempah and also a night of prophetic experience, which is advertised here at the premises of the church. But when you come inside, you realize that a lot of property is being vandalized. But not also, this is not the only billboard that has been smashed. What you also see here is actually another billboard, but this is to signal the church that they are putting up on this particular premise. You realize that part of this has also been brought down. But when you finally enter, even before we enter here, at the window, you see the marks, you see the machete marks that have been, used on this particular window, which shows that the youth actually entered through this building to be able to have access to the security mansion. This actually is the security mansion. The security man has also actually been harassed and also been beaten by this man. We'll speak to him very, very shortly, but what you see is his door being destroyed by this particular assailant. He tells me that they entered, they beat him up and destroyed property. He's not feeling well currently. Let me try and get
John Boy, so two because you know me want for me kuapoko na me want for so omu bran bedi or so bebe bedi wan ba nti omu si wa ba me si o no fi no me pia be fa bucket me pia omu na ni na me lucky gateway, me the local main gate. My lucky way so inside. Mbe one be aba inside or be a gate. No be one who say wa fa afu. War no aba inside be gate no mobile. Umbe attack. Oh me so say me gate no. Omo gate ni na. Oh me nya kwa kaka na me dwane ye. Mfintoma no na mpakunu kwa no bibia me di mi ko sie mi ho no na na de we ma mi. Me za mi na wo ya mi wa mi tiri nso e pai mi. Omo bomaso ani bibia obi fa konya so bi de bo ho na mi nya kwan e mi pie ko e. But mi ti de be sie no mi nim na mi bra ba ku we no ane e wo atiri ha ehun ade e ko e.
Asisia ohunam net say
ohuna ye me asisia mfi kura asisia o misi mi kofa adro we answer for the meantime na otina na me call hospital ni kura we ni police phone we ni.
So basically he is saying that he was actually going to take his bath when the attack happened. These individuals slapped him, they beat him up. As he's saying he's feeling pains, he's been able to get to the drugstore or the pharmacy to get something. By tomorrow he says he'll be going to the hospital. So he has been narrating and he's saying that the people came here yesterday, threatened to come today, but they didn't know that was going to happen. They came today, destroyed property, vandalized, and he is still in pain. But we'll be speaking to some of the individuals that have been around. But I want us to go to the Sunday school building that has been also attacked. Earlier when I got there, I realized that the plastic chairs have been destroyed. I realized that organs have been destroyed in this particular building. But let us just take a walk. Even from here, you realize that this particular story building that is here has been destroyed. You can see that the gliding windows have been hit by stones, by wood, by sticks, and that is what you see at the top part of this particular building. So I understand the men entered this story building and destroyed the property. So you'd see that almost all the windows that is here, everything was smashed by these particular individuals. But here, most importantly, is where the children come on Sundays to come and hear the word of God. And so when you enter this particular building, the first thing that meets you is this organ that has been destroyed by these men. Water scattered all over, plastic chairs that have been destroyed and left vandalized. Windows, as you can see, the louver blades have also been destroyed. And so here, this is the extent of damage that has been caused to this particular Sunday school building. It is not an exciting thing to see at this point, but that is what exactly happened.
Meanwhile, the Office of the National Chief Imam has called for calm and advised all to desist from any engagement in acts that will tarnish the hard-earned image and reputation, particularly on peace and tolerance. But away from that, the Ashanti Region Criminal Investigations Department has taken over investigations into the death of a female hawker believed to have been gang raped at Bokrom in Kumasi. 37-year-old plantain chips hawker's body was discovered on a street on Saturday, a day after she disappeared. 4 suspects, including 2 juveniles and their grandmother, as well as a mason, are in custody in connection with the death. Ohimenteria has more.
In a swift response, police at Bokrom Estate pick up 4 suspects, including juveniles. The 2 adults have been identified as 36-year-old Mason Emmanuel Afriye and 60-year-old Margaret Abra. They are being held on provisional charges of conspiracy to commit murder and rape.
Went to a drinking spot to buy some thoughts of local dry gin, that is apoteshi, and in a drunken state ordered to be served. After taking it, she became unconscious, and then she was sent to a room which is housed in the drinking spot for her to take a nap in order to regain her consciousness. And these 2 grandsons of suspect Margaret Abra, who are juveniles in the case, kept her in a room. And 1 suspect, Emmanuel Afriye, who had also gone to the drinking spot to buy some thoughts of local dry gin. On seeing that the deceased has been sent to that room, sneaked into the room and took advantage of her condition and then had sexual intercourse with her.
Ashanti Regional Police Command says it is expanding the scope of investigations pending autopsy on the body. ASP Godwin Ahianyo is command spokesperson.
We are still investigating. As is indicated, every case that comes before us, we make sure we investigate it to the latter and get the culprit involved arrested. This is a case of death, and names have been mentioned. We have picked up 4 persons, and we are taking statements from them. The case docket will be sent to the Attorney General's office for advice, so investigation is still ongoing.
ASP Ahianyo assured the public of thorough investigations as police look for more suspects.
At the moment, it's at the district level, but the regional crime officer has been informed, and the docket will be forwarded to the regional level as it is taking a national dimension, and I'm sure the region will take up this matter and investigate it to its logical conclusion.
Meanwhile, family of the deceased is devastated by the tragic and shocking development as relatives mourn the deceased. Leftover of plantain chips and some personal belongings of the deceased found at the crime scene welcome sympathizers to the family house at Kenyazi Bofodu. The family suspects other people may be complicit in the alleged crime. Efia Techua speaks for relatives.
Naomi dear, Naomi nyeni paboni o. Naomi dobia.
Naomi was not a bad person. Naomi loved people. Naomi liked everyone. We were all shocked over her death. She was not the quick-tempered type. Children, adults, all of us like Naomi. And above all, she had other people's welfare at heart. Naomi would cook for others to eat, never minded going hungry.
From Bofodu in the Ashanti region for JoyNews, Ohiminteria reports.
Managers of special schools are advocating inclusion of their schools in the free senior high school program. It comes on the back of government's irregular subversion, which officials say is taking a toll on academic work and general running of the schools. A tutor at Ashanti School for the Deaf at Jamasi, Esmond Odro, says persistent indebtedness to food and other supplies threatens nutritional well-being of students. He spoke when Chief of Staff Akosia Firma Oseopare presented foodstuffs and other items to the school. Nana Asensumensa has more in this report.
Which is the school's only source of funding, is in constant default. Management says the situation is a major challenge to quality education delivery. Infrastructure is another challenge at Ashanti School for the Deaf, where students learn in a dilapidated structure that has seen no renovation for over 40 years since its inception. Mr. Odro believes the best way out is for government to extend the free senior high school program to students with special needs.
The challenge that we have is the feeding grants. The feeding grant doesn't come early. Sometimes the time it comes, maybe we go on vacation. Sometimes we will go the whole term, the feeding grant has not come. So we have to wait till the next term that it comes before you can do payments. So when it happens like that, you cannot get the required needs of the children, the money to buy the right ingredient to feed the children. So it is also another challenge. So for me, I don't know, the heads of special schools have not call on government, but if I'm to speak for the heads, I will call on the government if he can put the special schools also under the government free senior high school, the feeding, so that they will get foods frequently to feed the children.
More or less a supply
food for the children. Yes, food items. Yes, for the children. Yeah. So,
Madam Firma Oseopare assured steps will be taken to give such schools a first lift across the country. Here is head of political desk at her office, Frank Asiedibequin.
The government is going to embark on a massive infrastructure development this year. There's going to be a lot of education facilities to be constructed by Get Fund. So as we are aware, the Parliament just approved a facility of which $500 million is in, that 2019, as the president said, is going to be an action year. And as you are aware, yesterday we exited the IMF. So now we have weaned ourselves from the clutches of the IMF. So now we are going to undertake massive reconstruction. We are going to build a lot of education facilities.
Nana Asensu-Mensah reporting.
The Secretary of the Ghana Muslim Mission is appealing to the Inner City and Zongo Development Ministry to upgrade infrastructure of all Islamic schools across the country. Alhaji Dr. Amin Bonsu argues it is important to improve academic standards for a strong foundation to take host communities out of need. Dr. Bonsu was addressing the 60th anniversary of the Ghana Muslim Mission in Kumasi. Nana Asensu-Mensah again.
Islamic Senior High School in Kumasi is one of the most popular in Ghana with over 9,000 students. The school's status as examination center for the West African Examination Council is under threat because it has no suitable auditorium.
And as I already said, it's the most populous SHS in the country. And as we speak, the lack of infrastructure. It may interest you to note that when you are writing exams, because of the sheer number of students here, we move them into smaller classrooms, and that brings a lot of challenge to the invigilators. If you have a big assembly hall, we can put them inside, and invigilation becomes easier. And because of that, if you are not careful, we even stand the chance of losing the examination center because of more practices.
Alhaji Dr. Bonsu wants government to complete all stalled projects in Islamic and other senior high schools to ensure smooth running of the free senior high school policy.
We are appealing to other missionary schools and then state schools that we should not compare the people to go to their to church service while they are learning. That was what was deterring Muslims to pursue their education. And so if you do that, I mean, it doesn't augur well for our nation. And also, we entreat everybody that we should donate towards the cause of the Ghana Muslim Mission for all what the infrastructures and other.
Minister for Inner City and Zongo Development, Dr. Mustafa Hamid, assures of government commitment to the education needs of Zongo communities.
And therefore, as Minister for Inner City and Zongo Development, whatever it is that I shall do with the assistance of the government machinery to ensure that all of your educational programs and structures are completed to enable quality Islamic education, we shall ensure that it is done.
For JoyNews, Nana Asensu-Mensah.
To the Upper West Region, Interior Minister Ambrose Derry has disclosed that the police administration will deal ruthlessly with any of the 8 Ghanaian police personnel accused of sexually assaulting women in South Sudan. Mr. Derry says the police has completed its investigation on the matter and is waiting for the United Nations to bring witnesses to help in their prosecution. He made the disclosure in an exclusive interview with JoyNews Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam at Kokoligo in the Nandum district.
Ghanaian police unit working with the UN peacekeeping mission in South Sudan last February were accused by some women living in one of its protection camps at Wao for sexual abuse in them. An investigation was therefore launched and the alleged police officers were quickly recalled to Juba. Interior Minister Ambrose Derry, in an exclusive interview with JoyNews, revealed that the police administration have completed investigation on the alleged sexual assault, stating that the police are prepared to dig into the bottom of the matter and will not shield their own.
The police went out to Sudan and there were certain unfortunate investigations. But I'm happy as I talk to you that the police have completed their investigations and they are prepared to prosecute their own 8 members of their own service. And we are inviting the United Nations out in South Sudan to send witnesses to come and help us prosecute them. We are not shielding anybody. So we look forward to that. If they cooperate, we'll be able to get to the matter. If they don't cooperate, the courts can only do what they can do.
That will be all for the AM News. Kojo Yankson, over to you.
Thank you. That was informative. And of course, Norvan will be joining us in a bit for the headlines from the newspapers. But until tomorrow, Maps, try not to miss us too much.
I'll try.
All right. Okay, well, coming up is the newspaper headlines. Norvan joins us, and we've got at least 2 newspapers that have made it to print this morning. First newspapers of 2019. Don't miss a moment of it. We're back after these.